You're a phony! Hey, this guy's a great big phony!
Greetings and welcome to Here's What I Heard, home of the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. Thursdays at 7 p.m. Central Time. I'm DGddss, your hostess. Thank you for clicking on my little acre of the internet today. Please support the channel. All my links are below. Click on some of them, will ya? And don't forget to share. This video and all my AITA videos are for entertainment purposes only. Let's start helping people today, shall we? This one will drive you to drink. Am I the a-hole for not explicitly stating my punch is non-alcoholic? Why the head hot alcoholic, I'll never know. I, 25 female, recently attended a potluck-style work party and brought punch, which has since caused a problem between myself and another co-worker, 42 female, who we'll call Sandy. Last week, my boss hosted a party at his house to celebrate the end of a busy season and a job well done. Yeah, always. They'll always do that before they'll give you a bonus for a good job. All of my co-workers and their spouses were invited, and we decided it would work well to do a potluck to offset the cost of feeding everyone, about 35 people, since not everyone who came brought a spouse or significant other. So yeah, not only was he throwing a party instead of giving you a bonus, but you even had to bring your own food. Okay, well, evidently you accept this because it's happening. I volunteered to make a punch that I've brought to previous work events that everyone said they enjoyed, as well as some fruit to go with it. This was a casual party with alcohol present, but since I have some co-workers who don't drink, I didn't add any alcohol to this punch. Actually, that's probably the best idea because supposedly, I don't know where anybody else lives, but anybody who gets drunk off anything that you have provided alcoholic-wise, you're responsible if they kill somebody or do something in a like drinking and driving or something. So yeah, that was a good idea. Not to mention the fact that you don't want to drink with your co-workers. These aren't like people that you would party with on a regular basis. Actually, your first mistake was going to a corporate party or a co-worker party to begin with. Don't you spend enough time with these people during your workday? I know I never wanted to. In fact, I've worked in some places that have actually changed the rules about attendance about some of these parties because of me. Because, like I say, I spend 8 hours a day with you people. I've got other things to do. Why do I gotta party with you? First of all, I don't drink or do any of that other stuff. So, not to mention the fact I wouldn't tell them if I did. That was not something you want going around your office, obviously. But yeah, man, this kind of, to me, like I say, this is just the way I am, but this so far is already bad news. Already bad news. Don't party with your coworkers. It never ends up working out to your advantage, especially if you're different from them, I didn't add any alcohol to the punch, and I figured that if people really wanted some, they'd just add it themselves. Yes, you're adults, you can do whatever you want as far as that goes. Fast forward a couple of hours and Sandy is getting even louder and more dramatic than normal. And is stumbling around the party.
I just smoked the wrong side of a cigarette! Who wants to go swimming? Oh, this song is about me!
I didn't think much of it and figured she brought her own drinks or was adding some of the host's alcohol that was put into something else. She suddenly fell off the chair she was sitting on and made a big show of saying that it's because she was so drunk. Then she asked me in front of the rest of our coworkers what it was I put in a punch. I was confused and told her what was in it. Just a mix of ginger ale, 7-Up orange juice, and a can of juice concentrate. And she wanted to know what alcohol I put in it. because she's been drinking it all night and is really feeling it. Oh yeah, she must be getting this sugar buzz or something. I told her that I didn't put any alcohol in it and asked if maybe someone else had spiked the punch bowl. Nobody said they added anything, and one of my coworkers, who doesn't drink, even said that they'd also been drinking the punch all night and was still completely sober. I also would like to clarify that I understand how context can matter. Like, if everyone else was really drunk, then that can make even sober person feel like they're loaded, but that definitely was not the vibe. Sandy was the only person acting drunk. I'm sure that's not... It's ironic because she had to have been acting. Either that or, like I said, she was getting a sugar overload. And thought it was something else. You can think yourself into a lot of things. Then she got really quiet and went by herself to the bathroom. Well, yeah, she's like, oh my God, I just made a complete and total ass of myself, and there was no booze. At least if I acted all funky and said, oh, I was just drunk, everybody would dismiss it. But everybody's gonna remember this. The rest of my coworkers and I exchanged some awkward glances and tried to laugh it off. She left shortly after, and I received an angry text from her about how I shouldn't have embarrassed her like that, and that now she looks like an idiot. Guess why you look like an idiot? You acted like an idiot. You were an idiot. That's why it looked that way. This woman didn't have to say anything, really. Drunk or not drunk, you obviously looked like an idiot. That's why you looked like an idiot. You were being an idiot. The people like this slay me. So she said now that she looked like an idiot in front of our bosses and the rest of our coworkers. You didn't need any help there, Sandy. She's been hostile to me at work ever since and is basically refusing to talk to me. You're dodging a bullet, I'm sure. 42 years old and acting like a teenager on the first time she's ever had a beer when there's no alcohol in the punch. Come on. Grow up, lady. Grow up. I didn't think I did anything wrong, and most of my coworkers agree with me, but some say that I should have just let her go on thinking that the punch was alcoholic to save her the embarrassment, and I'm wondering now if I'm in the wrong. Am I the a-hole? Absolutely not. The truth will always out, and the truth shall set you free. Don't go lying just to save somebody's feelings. Because, first of all, the fact that she texted you an angry text message after the fact and won't talk to you now tells me she's a coward. She acted like an idiot. She doesn't want to own up to it. She's blaming you and then treating you like crap. Let her go, man. If you don't have to do anything with her, deal with her as little as possible. That's, that would be my advice. And don't go to any more of these corporate parties. Basically, they're basically telling you to bend over and take a little bit of lube after you've done all that work and made them all that money. Say, hey, you know what? I'd rather not go to the party. Can I have my share of the money? That would be, you might change things and you won't have to party with your moron coworkers anymore. I can see once in a while, but shame on you for throwing a party for a prosperous quarter and then not sharing that prosper with the people who made it possible. Because that's what usually these parties do. They distract you from the fact that you just made your boss rich. In most cases. Not in all. In most. The only thing you may have done wrong in this case is, and of course, by just accentuating the fact that she was acting like an idiot to begin with, you basically probably made her lose her buzz. That's always worth a kind of a frown once in a while, too. Get a grip, Sandy! What do you think? Tell me down in the comments. This is what happens when people don't mind their own business. Life's not fair. Am I the a-hole for getting my daughter a designer bag when not everyone in the group could afford it? Hey, I'm not new to Reddit, but this is a throwaway account. Right. So, I'm a part of a playdate group that my sister invited me to. We're all in our 30s to 40s range, and our daughters are in the 6 to 8 age range. But we're all at different stages in life. That's typical. That's going to happen in any group. Out of the group, my husband works a lot and makes the most money. While none of them are struggling, at least no one has outright said, we do have different budgets. Again, typical. It's going to happen. Never changes. That's something that never changes. Part of life. That's life. There hasn't been any drama in the past 2 years until recently when one of the girls, Autumn, not her real name, got a purse, and then everyone got a purse except for my daughter. I guess each mother bought them purses. It wasn't somebody that went around and bought everybody a purse and left your daughter out. I guess that needs to be clarified. She's 2 years younger than the other girls, so she's in the 6 range. So I didn't know how to feel about getting her a brand new purse, but I also didn't want her to be left out. Well, there's several ways you could have handled that. Now, I only carry designer bags because I like the way they look, and because my daughter wants to be my mini-me, I bought us matching crossbody bags. It was adorable. Okay, great. You only carry designer bags, though, really and truly. The cheaper ones, even the fake ones, they look the same. Unless you're an expert or an exporter, you're not gonna. Most people aren't gonna know. Most normal people aren't gonna know that these aren't designer bags. And I'm glad that you can afford it, but what difference does it make? Only carry designer bags. If you go around telling everybody something like that, I can see why they might have looked at you sideways. People do get jealous on this stuff. And the designer bags are quite expensive for what you get. It was adorable. I didn't see a problem with it since kids can't tell the difference. Correct, kids can't tell the difference. And when we were at our weekly play date, no one said anything, so I figured no one cared. Guess again, I guess. Like I say, the kids didn't, but I'm almost guessing who did. Well, I was more than wrong when I checked the group chat. All the other moms, including my sister, were texting me saying that they felt like we were trying to show off that we had money, which felt unfair because they were the ones who always brought up bills and shopping for clothes, while I usually stayed out of the conversation. Again, nothing to contribute. What you do is none of anyone else's business. It's amazing. Not only will people get in your business, but they'll tell you all of theirs. Then Autumn's mom texted that she was crying because she wanted the same bag for her approaching birthday now, and they couldn't afford it. And while I feel bad, I also think that this is just a part of life.
Indeed.
Indeed, exactly. Even my daughter doesn't get everything she asks for because she sees it. So, am I the jerk in this situation? Absolutely not. There's really nothing you can do about the other people. Everybody else got a purse, your daughter felt left out, so you bought her what you thought and what you could afford. It's nobody else's business. These women are just jealous. And shame on your sister for ganging up on you with them about this. Update. She has an update on this one. I didn't expect this post to get as much attention as it did. Then why did you put it on Reddit? I love these statements because you know damn well you put it on Reddit and it's going to get attention. That's what you put it up there for. Burner account or not. So I figured I should update. My sister and I were able to hash things out over breakfast and we're back to being BFFs. What was there to work out? What exactly did she want you to work out with her? Other than the fact that she needed to apologize to you for butting in and agreeing with all the girlfriends over breakfast. Okay, at least you got a meal out of it, I guess. The other moms haven't said anything more, but my sister says I'm still welcome since play dates are at her house, but I don't know if I'll go yet. I wouldn't. I mean, yeah, you can if you want to, but every time you say something or do something, you know these women are going to be talking behind your back now. And, they turned into keyboard warriors. They haven't said anything to your face. Again, a bunch of cowards that were jealous of the fact that you were able to afford something a little bit more expensive than they could afford for their daughters. And personally, a 6-year-old doesn't need a designer bag. In fact, even teenagers don't need this designer stuff. You know, just because it doesn't last long enough. The attention span and the likes and the dislikes don't last long enough to buy something that expensive. Unless, of course, you can repurpose it or use it yourself. You know, maybe if you have a designer bag, buy yourself another one and give her one of yours. Clean it up. Take it to a shoe repair or something like that. Maybe they'll be able to fix it up if it needs any fixing up or whatever. But yeah, the kids don't care. You noticed who cared in this one. So yeah, you know, I don't recommend going, because also too, that rubs off on the kids too. Those children might actually start abusing your daughter, especially since she's younger and weaker. Just saying, it could happen. What does my audience think? Give me a comment down below. I do hope you enjoyed my video today. Thanks so much for visiting me once again, and what do you think of these scenarios? Let me know if you like what I'm doing here. Don't forget, every Thursday night, 7 p.m. Central Time, the Talk to Me America show, where the world wants to know what you have to say. So call me and tell them like it is. Please support the channel. All my links are below. Click on some of them, will ya? And don't forget to share. And remember, LDG is here to help. Until next time, AMF.